Evil doesn't wear horns, it wears a smile. You can't always see evil, but you can feel it. Have you ever sat next to someone and suddenly felt uneasy? They didn't insult you, they didn't threaten you, but something was off. You couldn't name it. You couldn't prove it, yet deep down you knew their presence was draining you. That sensation isn't paranoia, it's your instinct warning you something dark is hiding behind the charm. Stoic philosophy teaches us that we cannot control others, but we can control who we let into our minds. The danger is, by the time we realize someone is quietly dismantling our peace, it's often too late. But evil always leaves traces, subtle patterns, red flags. In this video, we'll uncover 6 red flag, psychological warning signs that reveal toxic people long before their mask falls off. And most importantly, we'll learn how to guard our peace with the wisdom of Stoicism. Watch closely. Your clarity might depend on it. Red flag number 1. They lie like they breathe. Toxic people don't lie to avoid trouble, they lie to control you. At first, the lies seem harmless. They say they'll show up at 5 p.m. and arrive at 7. They take credit for things they didn't do. They casually deny a promise they clearly made. You tell yourself, no big deal, everyone slips up sometimes. But then it happens again and again, until suddenly you're not sure if you're the one misremembering. You distinctly recall them offering help last week, but when you bring it up, they smile and say, "That never happened, you must be confused." And just like that, a crack forms in your certainty. You pause, you question yourself. Wait, did I imagine that? That, right there, is gaslighting, the most insidious form of psychological manipulation. They don't overpower you with force. They unthread your reality slowly, invisibly, until you can't tell what's real anymore. And then they insert their version of the truth. Epictetus warned, "A confused mind is a soul easily conquered." When someone deliberately distorts truth, they're not just lying, they're stealing your clarity, your confidence, and your ability to trust your own mind. The worst part? They do it with calmness. Not with rage, but with a steady, practiced tone that makes you feel like the irrational one. It's not just deceit, it's domination. Every conversation becomes a fog. Every memory becomes a courtroom. You start second-guessing your emotions, your instincts, even your sanity. And that's exactly what they want. Because a person who no longer trusts themselves becomes deeply dependent on them, on their version of events, on their approval, on their fake clarity. So what do? You don't debate a gaslighter. You don't try to prove what you remember. You don't talk it out and hope they'll understand. Because here's the Stoic truth. The purpose of a lie isn't misunderstanding, it's manipulation. Instead, you observe. You pay attention to patterns. Do they often deny things they've clearly said? Do you leave conversations with them feeling smaller, foggier, or like you're the problem? If so, you don't need closure. You need clarity. And clarity begins by stepping back. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, if someone is causing you to lose your grasp of what is right, withdraw quietly and without resentment. Walk away from the web, not to punish them, but to free yourself. In Stoicism, we don't argue with liars. We rise above the fog and reclaim the truth within ourselves. Red flag number 2. They are obsessed with conflict. Ever notice how some people seem to attract chaos, like it follows them into every room? That's not coincidence, that's design. These people don't stumble into drama, they create it. They thrive in it. Where most of us seek peace, they seek attention. Where we try to resolve tension, they orchestrate it. To the toxic mind, conflict isn't a problem, it's a performance. Every passive-aggressive comment, every perfectly timed jab, every sarcastic smirk, these are not accidents. These are acts, and the world is their stage. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Let your mind be like a fortress. No whisper should breach its walls." But when you're around a person who lives off drama, those whispers come wrapped in smiles. Didn't you notice how cold she was to you? I probably shouldn't say this, but you deserve to know. And just like that, the seed of suspicion is planted. Not directly, not obviously, but deeply. Soon you're questioning your friends, your allies, even yourself. And the chaos grows not because anything real has happened, but because they planted the idea that it did. This is how manipulators isolate their prey, not by attacking, but by dividing. They pit people against each other with subtle jabs and shadowy insinuations. They don't confront you, they let others do it for them. And they love every second of it. Watch closely next time the mood of a room suddenly shifts, the joy evaporates, tension creeps in, someone says something innocent, yet everything changes. And in the corner, that person, the one who said it, watches calmly, almost pleased. That's not carelessness, that's a calculated disruption. The Stoics taught that while we cannot control what others do, we must fiercely protect the sanctity of our own mind. When you're surrounded by someone who fuels conflict, your clarity suffers. You're always on edge. You start anticipating explosions. You walk on eggshells not because you're fragile, but because they build landmines with their words. And the most dangerous part, they'll always play the victim. They'll claim, "I was just being honest." Or, "Why is everyone so sensitive?" But their honesty has a sharp edge. It wounds rather than reveals. So what should you do? Step back. Don't engage. Don't match their energy. Don't try to expose them. Because the Stoic doesn't chase storms. The Stoic watches, learns, withdraws with grace. Ask yourself, who always seems to be in the center of every conflict? Who walks away calm while everyone else bleeds emotionally? That's your answer. You don't need to declare war. You just need to walk away from their battlefield. Not because you're weak, but because your peace is no longer for sale. Red flag number 3. They always make you feel like it's your fault. Some chains aren't made of iron. They're made of guilt. You express frustration, they say, you're overreacting. You recall a hurtful comment, they claim you misunderstood. You finally speak up and suddenly, you're the problem. Toxic people don't need to raise their voice to control you. All they need to do is make you doubt yourself again, and again, and again. At first, it's subtle. You bring up an issue, and they act like you're making a scene. You remember something clearly, and they tell you your memory is flawed. You try to hold them accountable, and somehow, you end up apologizing. That's not misunderstanding. That's manipulation. As Epictetus said, if you wish to be free, first learn to guard your thoughts. But how can you guard your thoughts when someone is actively training you to distrust them? This is the essence of gaslighting, when someone erodes your perception of truth to the point that you need them to tell you what's real. Imagine this. You're in a disagreement. You remember exactly what was said, the tone, the moment. But they look at you with calm confidence and say, "That never happened." And for a moment, you hesitate. Not because they're right, but because they're so sure, and you've been wrong before, haven't you? You begin to question your memory, your emotions, your worth. And once they've taught you to do that, they don't need to argue anymore because you're already arguing with yourself. That's the trap. A mind in self-doubt is a mind easily governed. So what does a Stoic do? A Stoic doesn't fight to convince the manipulator. A Stoic fights to protect their own perception. We don't beg for understanding from those who twist the truth. We stand firm in what we know is right. Ask yourself, are you always apologizing just to keep the peace? Do you feel like your emotions are too much only when you're around them? Have you started second-guessing even basic memories and decisions? That's not just emotional fatigue, that's a war on your inner compass. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, never let the noise of others drown out the voice of your own soul. You are not crazy. You are not too sensitive. You are not the villain in a story you didn't write. If someone consistently distorts reality, dismisses your feelings, and makes you question your worth, it's time to stop defending yourself to them. Because you're not the one who needs convincing. They are the one who needs boundaries. And the strongest boundary you can draw is the one that says, my peace is no longer up for negotiation. Red flag number 4. They always play the victim. Some people survive by blaming. They don't solve problems, they narrate them, star in them, and make sure you never forget who's hurting the most. Them. At first, it seems innocent, maybe even sad. You sympathize, you offer support. They talk about their rough childhood, their toxic ex, their unlucky fate, and you listen because you're human, you care. But over time, something feels off. The more you help, the more helpless they become. The more solutions you offer, the more excuses they invent. And no matter what goes wrong, it's never their fault. They're the victim, always. When you finally ask for space or try to draw a boundary, they gasp in horror. How could you do this to me, after everything I've been through? Suddenly, you're not setting boundaries, you're being accused of cruelty. Your need for peace becomes their proof that you're the real problem. And now you're stuck not just in their story, but in their emotional debt. The Stoics remind us, we are not disturbed by things, but by the views we take of them. Epictetus. Toxic victims manipulate your view, not just of them, but of yourself. They turn your empathy into a leash. They weaponize their pain, not to heal, but to trap. You'll start hearing things like, nobody else cares about me like you do. You're the only one I can rely on. If you leave, I'll have no one. And you begin to feel responsible for their well-being. Not out of love, but guilt. Not because they're weak, but because they've made you feel like you must be strong for both of you. But here's the truth. People who truly want to heal accept responsibility. They don't make you their crutch. They don't drain your energy just to keep from facing their own reflection. So what does a Stoic do? A Stoic sees clearly without apology, without resentment. We ask, is this person making progress or just collecting sympathy? Are they willing to grow, or are they clinging to pain for attention? And most importantly, does helping them require me to abandon myself? As Marcus Aurelius warned, don't let your kindness become a form of slavery. If it costs your peace, it's not kindness, it's sacrifice. You can care and still walk away. You can be compassionate and still protect your energy. Because you're not cold for setting boundaries. You're wise for recognizing when someone refuses to carry their own weight. Victimhood can be a mask, and some people wear it so long they forget they ever had power. But that's not your burden to fix. Red flag number 5. They constantly criticize you, but never celebrate you. There's a kind of poison that doesn't kill you instantly. It wears no label, makes no sound. It drips slowly, quietly into your soul. It's called constant criticism. The person doing it doesn't shout. They don't insult you to your face. Instead, they chip away at you with subtle comments, backhanded compliments, or quiet indifference. You share your excitement about finishing a project. They shrug. That's good, but it's not a big deal. You push yourself to grow. They raise the bar. You finally feel proud. They remind you, you still have a long way to go. At first you think, maybe they're just honest. But honesty without compassion is just cruelty in disguise. As the Stoics taught, truth must serve virtue, not ego. And a person who can only point out your flaws, but never your progress, isn't helping you grow. They're helping you doubt. Because every time you rise, they plant a seed of insecurity. Every step forward you take, they remind you of the miles you haven't walked. Every time you stand tall, they whisper that you're still not enough. This is not feedback. It's control. And here's the worst part. They don't just downplay your wins, they exaggerate their own. They're quick to remind you how great they are, how much more they've done, how you're always playing catch-up. They need to be above you, not because they're better, but because they fear what might happen if you believe in yourself. Why? Because confident people are harder to manipulate. People who know their worth don't tolerate silent sabotage. So they dim your light. Not to protect you, but to keep you in the shadows. What would a Stoic do in this moment? A Stoic doesn't seek applause. We don't crave approval. But we also don't tolerate people who actively try to shrink us. Marcus Aurelius said, "The opinion of others should not disturb the calm within." If someone in your life always finds what's wrong, but never acknowledges what's right, if they never celebrate your efforts, if they act threatened by your growth, then they're not a guide, they're a cage. Ask yourself, why am I trying to earn validation from someone who never gives it? What am I sacrificing to please someone who doesn't even clap when I win? You don't need their permission to feel proud. Your growth is real, your progress matters. And the absence of recognition from a bitter soul is not evidence that you've failed. It's evidence that they're scared of your strength. So rise anyway, silently, boldly, without needing their approval. That's Stoicism, that's freedom. Red flag number 6. They have no empathy and they're not hiding it. What separates the truly dangerous from the merely difficult? Empathy. Or rather, the lack of it. Most people feel something when you're in pain. They may not always know what to say, but they see you, they care. But toxic individuals, the truly cold ones, don't flinch when you suffer. You could be breaking down in front of them, grieving, lost, vulnerable, and they'd blink slowly, shrug, or worse, say something like, "Well, life's unfair, get over it." No warmth, no concern, no human connection. Stoicism teaches us to master our emotions, not erase them. To stay calm, not become cold. But this person, they confuse apathy with strength. They see kindness as weakness. They don't just lack emotional depth, they weaponize your need for it. You reach out hoping for support, and instead, they change the subject, or make it about themselves, or ignore you altogether. And you're left wondering, am I asking too much? Is it my fault they don't respond? You're not asking too much. You're just asking the wrong person. These people don't see others as human beings. They see tools, utilities, distractions. You're valuable to them when you're useful and disposable when you're not. And that's why being around them feels so suffocating. You're not just unseen, you're invisible. You're not just ignored, you're erased. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, be tolerant with others, strict with yourself. But there's a limit. Tolerance must never become self-erasure. If someone consistently dismisses your emotions, mocks your vulnerability, or makes you feel ashamed for simply needing human connection, that's not Stoicism, that's emotional starvation. And you do not have to stay. Ask yourself, do I feel emotionally safe around this person? Or do I always have to shrink myself to be accepted? Because here's the brutal truth. Someone who lacks empathy won't hesitate to cause pain. They won't feel remorse. They won't care how deeply they've hurt you, because they're not capable of that kind of depth. And you can't teach it. You can't love it into existence. You can't explain your heart to someone who's already decided to never hold it. What does a Stoic do? A Stoic protects their peace, not with walls, but with wisdom. We don't beg for warmth from someone made of ice. We don't linger in the cold hoping the frost will soften. We step into the Sunday. Don't waste your energy trying to change those who refuse to feel. Instead, walk away before their emptiness becomes your own. The Stoic habit. You deserve to be seen, to be valued, to be met with basic human decency. And if they can't offer that, you owe them nothing, not even an explanation. Conclusion: the power of awareness. Toxic people don't arrive with swords. They come with smiles and leave with pieces of your mind. But the Stoic holds one ultimate weapon: awareness. Awareness of who manipulates your emotions. Awareness of who makes you question your worth. And awareness of when to walk away quietly, without drama. You don't need revenge. You don't need to explain yourself. You just need to reclaim the one thing they can't take unless you give it: your peace. If this spoke to you, like the video, subscribe for more Stoic insights, and drop a comment below. I choose peace, and I walk forward with clarity.